Hey, Sugar. It's your girl Risa, y'all. Coming to wish you guys a happy Thursday. It is freshly Thursday morning. Y'all know I'm a night owl and I be up all times of the night. And yeah. So I'm just up looking at different stuff. Y'all, I'm gonna talk about something right quick that upset me. And it's got me feeling bad in my spirit. I watched a video on Facebook. This lady took her baby to the doctor. When I say this little baby was fresh out of the puka pot, y'all, oh, I just want to cry. I mean, a little teeny tiny baby. This fool was supposed to be giving the baby an exam. Y'all, if y'all could have seen how this dude was shaking that baby, oh, hold on, let me see, can I pull it up on my phone right quick? Just give y'all a little glimpse. You know, the Lord say vengeance is his. Y'all know, but instances like that make you really want to go post alone. Do y'all hear me? That dude, what he was doing to that baby, oh my polar heart. I felt so bad for the baby. Y'all look at this. And somebody laughing though, for real. Look how he picked the baby up like a football. That MF right there would have got it. Do y'all hear me? Yeah, that same thing he measured that baby with, I would have effed him up with it. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? Let air sucker do that to child. You can't even stick mine too hard, baby. You getting ready to get your ass greased. Do you hear me? Oh, honey. Mm, I'm so full of just ooh adrenaline right now, baby. You talk about on the news. I'd have been on there loud and proud. Do y'all hear me? He got just what he deserved. Yeah, he was throwing the baby up and down like that and shaking him and doing the baby head. Oh, can you know? Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I pray that they never take that baby back to see that doctor. I wouldn't care if you had to go to the emergency room for every visit. Baby, he would get it. He would get it. He would get it. He would get it. Do you hear me? He would get it. Do you hear me? By any means necessary. Y'all, he will have to doctor on himself because, baby, I whoop his ass. Do you hear me? baby. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Y'all, that right there is uncalled for. It's so many hateful people in this world. Oh my word. And it, ooh, just a little itty bitty baby like that. Y'all know, I mean, and the baby just screaming and hollering, just screaming and hollering, just screaming and hollering. Baby, child, what you say? Let me tell y'all a little something. When Corey was in the hospital and they were getting ready to do a procedure on him, and he had to have um some kind of fluid. They had to clean him out for surgery the next day. And there was a certain amount of fluid that they have to he had to ingest to clean himself out. Okay, now mind you, my baby he had a tumor this big, okay, laying on top of his stomach. It weighed like 5 pounds, okay, like a 5 pound bag of sugar. No lie. Laying on top of his stomach. Do you know these people put that tube down his throat? First, they took him, and my kid, I didn't go. And my kids were standing outside the room door. They was like, "Mama, you got to." Corey is in there saying all kind of stuff to them people, and so um, he was crying. I got up and I went and I knocked on the door, and he was just reaching for me. So I, of course, I had to let him try, but I wanted to see what the heck was going on. So they were able to get the tube in one side, and they were trying to fill it up. Baby, they were squeezing the fluid in with these syringes. And baby, I looked down and I saw that stuff coming up in my baby's throat, and he kept gasping for air. I said, "Oh hell no, that's enough. That's enough. Mm-mm, no." I turned him to the side so it could come out. I said, "That's it. No, that's it. When does your light not come on and say this baby got fluid building up in his mouth? Fool, that's enough." I said, "But look, do you understand? He got a 5 pound tumor on his stomach. He can't get all that stuff in there." Corey barely can drink. And he at that time he could barely drink an ounce of fluid at a time. And you gonna sit there? I said, "No, you need to call somebody." "Well, we're not gonna." I said, "I know you're not gonna try again. That's it." I said, "That's it." And I meant just what I said, baby. They would have heard me. They would have heard me. Yeah, for real. Yeah, little old me. I got a big mouth, and I can say some things, honey. Mm. I took my baby and I carried him right back to that room. I said, "No, ma'am." And he got up in my arms and wouldn't let go. He was holding on so tight. And I just sat up on the sofa and I just hugged him and rocked until he went to sleep. Jesus, I could just cry. I'm full right here. Who I am now and who I used to be. And I'm not saying I was an abusive kind of person. I made a wrong choice in my life that haunted me for years. And I asked the Lord to forgive me. And he did just that. And if anybody trying to figure out what it was, I had an abortion years ago. Yes, I did. And it haunted me. I would hear babies crying, all kinds of things. And I had to ask the Lord to forgive me. I did. And I said, Lord, I walk through life and I tell you what I don't want. I don't want to have no more children from nobody else. And of course, at that time, I meant it because I knew what my body went through. I knew how hard it was for me. I wasn't financially able. But reality set in to me. I am not in charge of my life. I am here because God granted me a blessing. He has a plan. And anytime he has a plan, his will be done. And so I said, "Lord, please forgive me for even all that I have done that was not pleasing to you. And for telling you what it is I want. I don't know who it is you're trying to bring in this world or what you have planned for them. Please forgive me." And he did just that. I went 3 years before I made that plea to him to forgive me. I had constant pelvic pain. I was at the doctor 3, 4 times a week. Yes, having to pay out of my pocket. because I was in so much pain and could not figure out why. But I had an IUD, trying to keep myself from getting pregnant. I had an IUD, and that when I made that choice and I asked the Lord to forgive me, He whispered to me to have the IUD removed, and I had it removed, and my pain and all my problems went away instantly. Instantly. I don't know how 11 years went by. Excuse me. Excuse me. No, it wasn't 11. Let me see. I don't know how many years it was that went by, but God wound up, and I got pregnant again, and I told the Lord I would not do that again, and I didn't. And He gave me three more children. God had a plan, and He did. He didn't give me. He lent them to me, and I know now. Watching what Corey went through, and you see it on television. You see them talk about children. You see little kids with their hair missing and with oxygen tubes and trachs in their throat, and some kids are in wheelchairs and they're not able to move or not able to talk, not able to see, all kinds of things. And until you go, ooh, mm, I don't know what these days ahead of us hold. None of us do. Only God does. But I just gotta say, thank you, Lord. I gotta tell him thank you because it's so much going on, you guys. Seriously. All these police officers beating people up. I watched on Facebook this officer was straddling across this young black woman on the interstate, punching her as hard as he could in her face. I have to remember, vengeance is the Lord. I'm telling you, vengeance is the Lord. Vengeance is the Lord. All these people getting shot down, unarmed people getting shot down in cold blood. Vengeance is the Lord. The Lord, we need you. We need you. We know everybody has an expiration date, but there's some unfair things happening to people. Some truly unfair things, and it's like the police department just have their way. They don't have to answer to nobody. Because it seems like they get away with it. They get away with it. They get away with it. They can shoot somebody and call it justified. And we have no leg to stand on as far as the government is concerned. But that's when God's words say things are going to happen in this world, and you got to keep your eyes on me. You got to keep your eyes on me. It is true. You can't get consumed with the things of this world because it will make you angry, bitter, hateful, all of that stuff. Watching this stuff happen. Ooh, and that sap sucker, I could say some things, y'all. That fat, funky, but it ain't right. Two wrongs don't make it right. But baby, hmm, a few years ago, I couldn't walk in the doctor's office and see that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. The way my mind think, he would have got it. For real, and for real.com. Okay, for real. Ooh, that is something awful. It's something terrible. It is something terrible. That is not even why I made this video, y'all. I don't even know why I made the video. I really don't. I totally forgot. But shoot, I'm what 14 minutes in. But I do want to share. Um, Today is now Thursday. I went, of course, I went to see my dad on Monday, and I didn't tell anybody because I wasn't sure that it was just a choice that I made. That was something that I needed to do, and um, I had talked to my mom today, and she was telling me that they had to rush him to the hospital. He became unresponsive. I don't know what happens to him. Sometimes he blanks out. I mean, he just go out. He stopped breathing. Everything. I don't know how long it took them to revive him or what, but it kind of scared me to the point where I'm like, I hope my visit didn't disturb him in any kind of way. Not that I feel like I'm all bad. You know what I mean? It's not that, but when you've had bad blood with somebody or a bad history and they don't see you at all, and then all of a sudden you show up, and then there's all those thoughts and feelings and stuff start coming back because you, for one, thinking about what that person gonna say to you or how they're gonna act or what. And I don't know. I don't know. It may not have nothing to do with it. I am truly thanking God. If it don't, I'm thanking God anyway because it's not my intention. But I just pray that he be okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's a kind of miserable feeling to go and all your life to be separated, not knowing where you come from or who you belong to, or not feeling like you belonged anywhere, and smiling your way through. Mm, smiling your way through. I used to be afraid to get in trouble because I was afraid they was gonna send me away, you know, um, all kind of stuff. But I did used to get in trouble like some kids, you know what I mean? Being disobedient. But at times, especially when I was in between, leaving elementary school, going to middle school is most definitely the hard time for me. And even as an adult now, I understand. I'm grateful for where God placed me, with people that care and took care of me. But I did have all of those questions growing up, why this and why that. But as of today, that why does not matter. It doesn't matter. God had a plan, and to get to His plan, we don't always make the right choices. But without one thing, you can't appreciate the other. And so I think about my relationship with my sister and my brother, and I don't know. I'm grateful for people that actually come and you know I have people inbox me every day. Reese, are you okay? How's the family? I was thinking about you. And I don't know if nobody understand that, but that feels good. But to go your whole life when you were young and not feel like anybody cared, and when I say that because I know they cared for me, but to know that I didn't belong in this household, you know what I mean? These are not my birth parents. These are not the people that brought me into this world. And I had to constantly, constantly, constantly explain to people when I see them, okay, how is that your mama when that's your daddy's sister? You know. And then I had to explain how I was adopted, how all of this, and how my name changed. Well, your name is this. Yes, I had to explain how my name changed after I became adopted. And, as far as this is concerned and that is concerned, it got to be a headache. And I resented for a long time even telling people who my parents were. I didn't want to because I was like, why should I claim them? They didn't claim me, you know, young. But as I got older, it didn't matter because you birth somebody in this world don't mean that you're a parent. And so it just didn't matter to me anymore, you know. And I wasn't afraid to say who my dad is, who my mom is. And I can remember walking in this store, this meat store, and this lady, we were ordering some meat, and the lady kept saying, "Ooh, you look like somebody I know. Do you have a sister?" I said, "Yeah, I have three sisters." She was like, "Ooh, you look just like this lady." And I can't remember. She said, and the girl, she said, we went to school together. Ooh, we used to be best friends. We used to hang out. Oh, girl, you talking about used to have a good time. I said, now, the person you may be talking about, I said, her name is Yvonne. And she was like, yeah, is that your sister? I said, no, that's my mother. And she looked at me and she was like, oh my God, you look just like her. That's who I'm talking about. So she began to talk about my mom and what kind of person she was. She was the sweetest thing. She said, but baby, one thing you didn't want to do was piss her off. She said, when I tell you she was a spitfire, she would go off. Oh my goodness. She said we had to try to control her. Don't let her get mad. It was terrible. And so the first thing my husband would say, oh, that's where you get it from, huh? So, she was like, was clean, always kept a nice house, this and that. And he was like, oh, that's where you get it from, huh? He just kept saying this stuff. Oh, that's where you get it from, huh? But I had never heard anybody talk to me about my mother and her likes and dislikes and her habits and things like that. Not anything good. It was always bad, you know. She was an alcoholic. She was a drug addict. She gave up her children, and then that's all that I saw. Every time I saw her, she was stone cold drunk, um, slurring when she talking to you, and that's all I knew. And I hated that. I hated to even see her to the point. It's just like anytime I smelled beer, it would piss me off. It was like, because she would smell like she been laying in a vat of beer, just like, and it will piss me off. And I don't know, I don't know. But even though all of those negative things, I still, just to hear my sisters talk about how they spent time with her and how funny she was, and she used to cook this and she used to cook that, and she used to watch us and tell us this and this and this. I didn't get to experience that with her. And even though I didn't, as of now, right now, how can you miss something you never had? You know? But there was a point in my life, there was something missing. There was a connection that was missing. But it couldn't come from her. It had to come from the Lord. It was something it was a peace that He gave me. A peace that He gave me, and it can't be replaced. It can't be given by man. And, even though He gave me that peace, everything else I just wanted to leave behind. Never to think about it. Things that really and truly hurt me for a long time, I couldn't remember it. It would take somebody to sit down and talk to me about it. My husband used to sit down and talk to me about some things, and we would go over it. And like my grandmother's death, I know um, she died in November. I can't tell you what day or what year. I just can't. And my mom died. I can't tell you what day or what year. I really can't. Um, my granddaddy passed away. I know. Now, when I say that, I think about he died in November as well, but I don't know if it was two dates that come to mind, November 6th and November 9th. I don't know if those are the dates that they passed or that one of them passed and it was 9 days later or what. I don't know. It just don't come to me like that. And um, even with my brother getting locked up, I know he's been there 20 years, but I can't tell you what day, none of that. Um, stuff like that. Ooh, excuse me. It does, you know, I guess I block it out. And I used to go see a psychiatrist, not a psychiatrist, but a counselor, psychiatrist, whatever you want to call it. But old girl went to sleep one time while we were having a session. I politely got up, got my purse, and I left, and did not go back. So over the years, I have made the mistake of confiding in people, thinking that they care, um, thinking that I could talk to somebody about the way that I was feeling, and maybe they'll help me out. You know what I mean? I have made that mistake more times than I can count on both hands and both feet. Because I get wrapped up into, talking to people and being totally open with people as to who I am and my faults and all of that. But then you turn around and you hear everything you done told them, and I'm like, really? Did you really feel like that was something you need to talk about? I mean, I ain't ashamed of it, but you really thought that was something you could shame me about? Hmm. Because I know some things about you that I promise you, if I part my lips, your whole face gonna be on the floor. But that's not me. But they took it upon themselves to have just run, their mouth just ran like the Nile River. Do you hear? I mean, just run like a broken toilet, just run and never stop. And but that's okay. It's okay. You know why? Because it didn't destroy me. It didn't destroy me. And I'm not as confident in myself today as I would like to be. Um, I'm not as strong willed as I would like to be. And certain situations come about, and I begin to talk about God's word, and it empowers me. It fills me with strength. But that's not always. You know what I mean? So I'm a work in progress. I don't know what all God's words say. I cannot quote scripture for scripture. Like some of you came to my video and y'all were just giving me scriptures, and I appreciate that because I'm a newbie. Do y'all hear me for real? Even though I come and I read my devotionals, I'm learning when I'm reading, just like I'm giving it to y'all. And half of y'all know more than I do. But the process is one that I have to walk through. I gotta walk through it. So pray for my strength. I'm not here to hurt anybody. Um, I had a plan that I only spoke to one person about when I asked for people to purchase the shirts for Corey. It was something that I really wanted to do, but the outcome was not what I wanted again. So that lets me know um, it was not God's will. But I thank anybody that did, and I apologize if I offend anybody by me even saying anything like that, because people do get offended when you start talking about money or donating this or doing that because they feel like you're being greedy. And I'm not being greedy. And if I could actually tell you guys what I wanted to do with it, some people may believe me and some people may not. But I am still gonna do what I intended to do. And God is gonna be the one to help me. And that's the one I should have went to from the beginning. You know, I didn't close, and usually after I do something like that, my Zazzle site, I close it down. But I didn't. I left it up. I'm gonna just leave it. I will be getting my own shirt, um, for me and my family to wear. And the thing that I wanted to do for somebody, I'm still gonna do it. And the money that was gonna come from that was gonna go to somebody else. So even though I said in the video that a dollar comes to Corey, that's I didn't want to give out too much information. But that's what I plan to do, and I still am gonna do it. Um, if it is God's will, I'm gonna find a way to help this person with the problem that they have, because we all need help. And they didn't ask for it. This is something that just came from me. And I went to the store today, and a lady, she said, "Oh, give me that purple dress you have on." I say, sure, anytime. She said, you better be glad I don't have no clothes in my car, 'cause I asked you for it for real. I mean, I really want it. And so I just started smiling. And then she said, oh my gosh, you smell good. What is that? And I told her what I was wearing, haiku. And so she said, oh, that's what that smells like. She said, I've always seen it in the Avon book, and I just rub and rub and rub, and, you know, it don't smell like that. I said, because it mixes with your body chemistry. She said, I like the smell of it, but I said, now that I smell it on you, it really smells good. So we began to talk. When I tell you that lady had me at that store, y'all know I like to talk. But this lady, she was just talking about God and how people look at her. She says she's a doctor. I don't know what kind of doctor she is, and I sure did not ask. But she said people look at me, and she said looking at you, um, and then hearing you talk, she said, "Ooh, it's just something peaceful about it." I just thank God that I talked to you today, that I ran into you. And she said she's a doctor, and she said people look at me and how I dress. She said, but I don't have nothing to put in the top of that dress, because she was flat chest for real. When I tell you she has to be part Indian or something. Because when I tell you that lady hair was down to her behind, I mean past her butt. Oh my, beautiful hair, sandy, not sandy red, but like a honey blonde color. Um, and she was white, but she was, and then she had the gray mixed in with it. She looked like an Indian, but she was so pretty, but she was so teeny tiny, slender, no chest, and she was just talking to me. She was like, people just look at me. You judge a book by its cover. They think that there's nothing up here because they see me and how I dress like a boy, that I don't have nothing going on. But she said, baby, you best believe when I get snatched, I get snatched. And she just kept talking. And I said, I understand where you're coming from. I say, because there's no amount of makeup that can cover up what's on the inside. If you jacked up on the inside, you're going to be jacked up on the outside. Point blank and point. And she just, we just had a nice conversation. And then come home and I look at Valerie's video, and she was talking about don't judge me too harshly. She had the little makeup on her face, and she's right. Just because I look like this don't mean that that's what's in here. Just because I'm somebody new coming in don't mean that I'm full of mess. That I'm out to get something from somebody. Don't mean that I'm out to take from y'all or use y'all, or it does not mean that. And I generally ask from the heart for certain things, because I don't know why, I just truly have always in my entire life felt like we should help each other. I can remember just giving away clothes out of my closet, and I didn't have a job to replace them, but it didn't matter as long as it helped somebody else to put a smile on their face. And I told my husband, he come in here now, even though my closet is not that big at all, a small closet, but I look at my clothes, and he said, baby, do you realize you have a lot of clothes? And I said, yeah, because for like 10 years I didn't buy clothes. I just wore jeans and t-shirts of my husband's, my jeans and his t-shirts, or either I would wear his jean shorts. Yes, for about 10 years. And I wasn't working. I was home every day. So I didn't, but I kept my hair up, but I just never dressed. When I say I used to dress casual like a boy, I used to dress like a boy. Big oversized t-shirts and shorts. I did. And then I would buy, when I started working in childcare, I wore scrubs every day. So I didn't have to buy a lot of clothes then. Then eventually I started to add a shirt here, another pair of pants there. And then I got to where I would wear capris when capris came out. But it was not a whole lot. I would spend maybe $100 on myself. But then after that, when Jalen was born, I began to dress a little more like a girl, outside of wearing my scrubs. And I started shopping. I would go once a year because I didn't have to buy a whole lot for my kids because they didn't grow fast. But the majority of my money went on the house and the children. And then just the past 4 years, I started shopping, really shopping for myself a lot. But this last 2 years has been off glass. I didn't used to carry a purse at all. I didn't. The last 4 years, I started carrying a purse. Before that, I didn't carry a purse. I would have chapstick in my pocket and roll my money up and put it out in my sock, my shoe, or my chest. Mhm. And that's just the way it was. And now I'm getting to be a makeup junkie, lipstick junkie, hair junkie. But I'm gonna cut it out sooner or later. Mhm. I'm grateful that I'm not consumed. Right now. I'm grateful because no amount of makeup that I put on my face is gonna change what's in here. No amount of lipstick that I put on is gonna change what comes out my mouth. So I say all of this to say, just as she said, don't judge a book by its cover. Because I'm thinking about looking at that doctor. I would have never thought he would do anything like that to a baby. Looking at him, you wouldn't think that. I don't know the man, but I'm looking at the video, and you just never know what's in here. Somebody can look so good on the outside, but baby, they could be standing in front of you just praying and wishing something bad happened to you. You have to stay prayed up. And I know it's a few people on here that thumbs down my videos, really and truly do not like me, and for whatever reason, I don't know, and I can't change it. All I can do is be me. But there's a certain thing as the devil, and some people live for the devil, really and truly. And all I can tell you guys is trust God. Go to Him. If He says we're His children, we gotta live that way. We gotta, and people say you can't let stuff bother you, but it does. It does. I ain't gonna lie. It does. To know that we gotta live in this world. This life is almost over. We just don't know how long it's gonna take to get there. But God in God's word said it's gonna get worse. But we gotta keep our eyes on Him. Don't matter what it look like. You gotta keep your eyes on Him. That's with everything. Not just illnesses. That's with everything. Point blank and period. And it is so sad. It is so sad that some people just have know nothing about them to do wrong. Now, I think about, like I say, about the abortion that I had. One sin is no greater than the other. And I asked for forgiveness, and He did. He said, "You ask and you shall receive." He forgave me. And that's with anybody, y'all. Whatever sin you may have committed, you can ask for forgiveness, but you got to mean it not to do it again. And sure enough, I told Him, I said, "Lord, I will not do that again." I got pregnant with Jalen. Yes, He said, "I'm gonna see." Got pregnant with Jalen. Tried to get my tubes tied. Shoot, they had me finna wheel me to the operating room. And the doctor came back and said, "No, I can't do it." I was like, where they do that at? For real. You on your way to the operating room and then he tell you no. Got pregnant with Mia. Make sure I signed the papers and did everything ahead of time. They even put an epidural in my back and hadn't even turned it on yet. The doctor come in, I can't do it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I knew my husband was going to have a fit. Because he was looking forward to, he was like, "Baby, this is just. I'm like, hey, I ain't doing it by myself. Shoot. I don't fertilize eggs. I carry the eggs. You know what I mean? So then I got pregnant with Corey. And he took me to the clinic and I came out and I just sat in the car. And he was like, "Oh no." I said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not going to the clinic. If you feel like this is something you can't handle, then you need to go on about your business. I have to do this on my own." I was ready and willing. I had accepted the fact that I was pregnant and I didn't know what to do from that point, but I just picked up the ball and went with it. Um, I was sick. Yes, I was. Ooh, pink sugar mama, baby girl, I know how you feel. That nausea, ooh, nauseous feeling. Ooh. Some days I wish I could put my hand in there and just squeeze my stomach just for the stomach, that feeling to just stop. Mm. But he gave me a precious baby boy. And I can remember the nurse telling me that Corey was the 24th baby boy to be born that night. 24th. And I was like, wow. And, he had his illnesses up and down, up and down, up and down, and up until, and he's still a blessing. He is still a blessing. And people used to look at him and say, oh, he's sick and he don't look sick. Well, what is he supposed to look like? Is he supposed to be gray with a hole in his face? What is he supposed to look like? You cannot judge a book by its cover. We got to love on each other. We got to take care of each other. And even with that being said, love is an action word. That means you treat somebody with kindness. You give them a helping hand when they need you. And people keep saying, well, you did exactly what you should have done. If that was my daddy, I would have did this. If that was my mama, I would have did this. But there's a difference. When you don't know these people, there's a difference. When you don't have that connection with these people, there's a difference. That's just like if I wanted to, my neighbor that lives 10 houses down, I've never seen or talked to these people before in my life. But can I walk in their front door and just hug them and sit on their couch or go in their refrigerator or no? Can I touch them? No. That's the way I feel. And I cannot change it because there's no connection there. Even though I went to see my dad the other day, there is still no connection. I feel bad that he's sick, and I wish him the best. I pray to God do whatever he needs to do, because he know what he needs. I don't, but there's just still no connection. My heart is not cold towards him. I just have no feeling about it. I just don't know. That's all I can say. And I just pray that he be okay. I think about taking my children back, and they have so many questions that I don't know how to answer. But I know when that day comes that whatever questions they have to answer, God gonna give them to me. He gonna give me the answer. He gonna give me the right thing to do. If it's not meant for me to take them to see him, then I won't. I come on here and I just open myself up because I don't do things because somebody else is doing it, because what's in their pocket may not be in mine. What's in their heart may not be in mine. But I just share who I am, or what I'm thinking about, or what I've experienced, or um and that's all I can do. And for those of you that come and watch and share with me, I am truly, truly grateful, because I know if it had not been for God putting each and every one of you in the right place at the right time, you wouldn't be here. So God filled that void in my heart. He did by sending me peace. He sent me to YouTube for therapy, to come and unload, for me to find myself again. Because when I first came to YouTube, I had gone through something for I don't know how many years, and it made me bitter and it made me angry, and I lost myself. I lost who I was supposed to be. I became mean. I was mean spirited. I was, ooh, yes, I was. And that's where my cursing came from. Because I used to didn't curse, but it came back full force. Yes, it did. And it is something awful. Um, I try not to do it on YouTube, but I can get mad, and I can just or either I could be joking and just give in to temptation and just go to saying stuff, you know what I mean? But that's one of my weaknesses. I do curse. Mhm. But that's a chain that can be broken. It is, and I have to make a choice. Am I gonna stay stuck or am I gonna move forward? And I choose to move forward. So, um, I just thank y'all. I'm gonna see right quick what the devotional is. I'm gonna come back and do that because this is already at 45 minutes, and I know y'all might watch 5 minutes of it and click off. That's fine. I know I'm long winded, and then somebody might say, "Well, why you make them long behind videos?" Because even if I make 6 10-minute videos, that don't mean y'all gonna watch all 6 10-minute videos. Okay, so I leave it as it is. Because that's the reason why I got so many doggone videos on YouTube now, trying to break them down. And I got sick of it. I said, I'm just going to let it roll. And I'm going to let it roll. Whatever blessings I get, it's going to come from the Lord. And when I tell y'all, God has done some things, He has done some things. I'm telling you, He has done some things. Yes, He has. In the last couple of days, yes, He has. You just have to wait on it. You just got to wait. Just wait on the Lord. He does things in his own time. We look for things to come and we get antsy and don't want to be still and wait. But guess what? He's still not coming till he's ready. Mhm. Yes. So this is my confessional chit chat, blow off steam chit chat, whatever you want to call it, chit chat. And I thank you guys for watching. Just know I don't mean any harm. Just expressing my feelings and I send y'all hugs, kisses, and many blessings. And your girl is still trying to find herself, y'all. Still trying to get me right. But I can't do it by myself. But I'm leaning on the Lord to do it because whatever changes need to be made, I guarantee you, He's going to do it, whether I'm willing or not. God have a way of breaking you down. When you go through some things, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, change come about. Change always comes. We may not want to accept it, but it always comes. Yes, it does. And I just pray for strength, wisdom, discernment, peace, comfort, protection. All of you that come and push play and you watch and share with me, many blessings. Only the blessings that the Lord can give. Because man can give blessings and take them back. I've learned that firsthand. And it kind of makes you cold, make you not want to trust people and what they say. But I know one thing, that if it was meant to be, it would happen. So I tell the Lord, thank you. I thank you for each and every one of y'all. It's 48 minutes, 49 minutes, almost an hour long. But I thank y'all. I love y'all. From little old me, all 4'11", 180.3 pounds. Oh, goodness, honey. Yes. Bye, Susan.